let me tell you something, man. It has been an interesting week.
Yeah.
Not for anything crazy, but I was driving back to work on it, and this just shows how much of a judgmental person I actually can be, because I was driving back to work, and I looked over, and there was like this desert kind of field, and I saw this homeless dude, and he pulled out golf clubs, right? Like, he had golf clubs with him, and I was like, it's alarming, because like it was clearly like it's not hard to tell he was a homeless guy, but I mean, it was a homeless guy, right? Like, there was no
question.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. And so I see him pull out, walking around with golf clubs.
Hold on, where does he pull golf clubs out of?
His ass. No, he was walking. Well, he was just walking. He had golf clubs with him. And I don't even know if it was golf clubs. It might have just been golf club, like singular golf club. But I saw him pull out like a driver.
Okay.
And like, I could tell he was homeless because, shirtless. He was red. He was dirty, so I just put two and two together.
Well, that could just be where we live.
Well, I mean,
that's like kind of normal fashion around
okay,
here.
but he wasn't anywhere near a golf course, so like,
he wanted to go to the soccer complex and
yeah, exactly.
nail some drivers, man.
Yeah. Just hit him at the
sitting there judging a man,
hitting him at the school. This is for the B-. That was a really good drive.
Jeffrey, you haven't been in school in 12 years.
You didn't even go to this school. This is a newly built school. It's still a school, though.
I have a grudge against all schools.
I feel that personally.
Yeah.
No, so I'm walking down the spot, or just walking, and I look over and I see, this gentleman over here, shirtless, holding a driver, and he walks into this like dirt patch, like dirt lot. It's empty. And in my head, I'm like, this guy's going to vandalize something. You know what I mean? Like, I immediately am like, vandal, right? No, he just, I drive past him, stop at the gas station, and then I'm driving back, and I see him walking back out with the golf club.
Where is he walking back out from?
Just the dirt lot. Like, he's walking back towards the street.
So he just went there, stood for a second, and is walking back?
No, because I didn't see him do anything, so I'm assuming he literally just went out there and hit a golf ball.
Just hit one golf ball?
Yeah, and then just was walking back as I was driving back to work, and I went, all right. Like, I realized, am I a bad person? Because I saw a dude holding a driver that looked kind of suspicious, and I went like, this guy, he's going to vandalize something. No. Just practicing his drive.
See, you're the piece of shit in that scenario.
You're not lying, dude. It's a Friday afternoon, and I'm criticizing
judging somebody carrying a golf club. Although you have to admit that is. So is it a bag that the golf club would go in, or is he just carrying the golf club around?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was so
taken aback
by the situation that I didn't even think anything. I just went, oh, he's yeah.
He's gonna break something. That man, he's gonna break something right there.
What are you supposed to think? You're not anywhere near a golf course, and yeah, there's a dirt lot, but what are you doing driving balls out here?
That is weird. I'll give it to you. That is a little odd.
Imagine if he's like some pro golfer who's just on some weird tour right now.
He has his own like weird training regimen that he's like for some reason his trainer's like, okay, you need to go shirtless. You need to get sunburnt first. All right, get sunburnt first.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go and all you're allowed is the driver. All right. And you're going to go to a baseball complex.
Not even a baseball complex. A dirt lot.
Just a dirt lot.
Just a dirt lot. There was, nothing around, which is another reason why I'm thinking I was a little bit judgmental.
Did he even have a golf ball with him?
I don't know. I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I guess you couldn't really see if he.
Yeah. My vision's bad enough. Like the
and
fact
you're driving. So.
Yeah. The fact that I'm driving is like. That's
a miracle.
Hail Mary. Right there. Somehow my eye doctor went, you're good. And I remember like when he told me, he was like, do you want to lower your prescription? I went, why would we do that? I was like, I'm getting older. He was like, yeah, who cares? I was like,
fuck it.
It's cheaper. I was
YOLO.
Like, sure, let's try that. But yeah, I'm judgmental. I'm realizing this. It's not a good look.
Although I will say where we are, it's not that out of bounds to just go and judge somebody for. There was one time I was driving, I think to go get pizza or something, and I see a dude riding a bicycle, right, carrying another bicycle, not like rolling it along. He is carrying that bicycle whilst riding the other bicycle.
That's superhuman strength.
That is like one, commendable, but two, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? You couldn't just wheel both bicycles. Like, no, your go-to is I'm going to ride this while carrying this.
See, when you said wheel both bicycles, in my head, I just imagined him riding both bikes at the same time. I was like, well, Richard, that seems a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, and that's an impressive feat to carry a bicycle while riding a bicycle, but to ride two bicycles?
That is,
seems a little difficult.
that does seem like quite an accomplishment.
He's got calves of steel. What kind of a bicycle was he carrying? Was it like a smaller one, or was it like a?
No, it wasn't like it was like two adult bicycles. It wasn't like a little tricycle. It was a legit bicycle.
You know what? That's probably his afternoon bike.
He has a morning bike and an afternoon bike.
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
It hits about 11, and he's like,
okay, switch out.
Got to switch out. Yeah, get on the old afternoon bike. And then he starts.
And
riding.
he's carrying the morning bike while riding the afternoon
and
bike.
For some reason, he's leaving his house carrying the. He just doesn't leave it at home. He's just like, it's like, dude, you could leave that. Like, you're not going to use it. Well, I might stay out late tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to be that guy or anything, but I might be out late, so I don't want to, just kind of mess around or anything like that.
Right.
I'd never seen myself as a judgmental person, but
you just have to take a step back every once in a while and be like, you know what?
In my age. Age.
Your age of late 20s.
It's happening. Dude, before I know it, I'm gonna be wearing a white polo,
khaki shorts.
Yeah, some New Balances. I'm gonna be out front of my house yelling at kids on the street because I have nothing better to do.
Well, okay, it's gonna be a miracle if there are kids on the street to yell at when we're that age.
What do you mean?
Because everybody's on their fucking phone all the time, stuck inside. Get outside, do fucking something. What are you doing?
It's happening. You're doing it right now. You're getting upset with the younger generation for their actions. What's happening to us, man?
We're getting old, man.
Anyways, here's the intro. It was like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Southwest has been home to the most infamous outlaws, from Billy the Kid to Neil Patrick Harris. Safe to say, legends have wandered these deserts. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the wind whisper their story over this barren land. Well, these two gunslingers, they have their own story to tell. They're shooting from the hip.
Look, I'm all for practicing golf swings, right? But I just feel like maybe the middle of the city isn't the place to do it. Like there's
in the middle
course.
of a dirt lot.
Yeah. Or
wait, okay, so the golf course that's around here, do you need to be a member to go there?
No, you just pay like $20 to get a bucket
well,
of
he
balls.
didn't have $20, so he just wanted to go to a dirt lot and practice his drive.
I feel like golf is the most like inconsiderate sport there is.
Yeah.
Because, like basketball, it's like, I hit a basket, I'm bouncing a ball.
Right.
Soccer, it's like I'm dribbling a ball.
Kicking a ball, yeah.
Golfers are just like, I'm going to whack the shit out of this thing. And I hope to God it doesn't hit someone.
Yeah. I would, okay, that and, because in high school I used to throw for track and field.
Oh, yeah.
And discus. That is a dangerous, dangerous ass fucking sport.
And they got 16-year-olds out there.
Yeah, just like Timmy, you're not supposed to be out there while Jonathan's throwing. That it's your fault you got hit in the head with the discus.
I feel like we really do allow kids to practice very dangerous sports. Because the amount of like 4-year-olds that there are that are gymnasts.
Oh, yeah. My sister took gym at a very young age.
What's going on there, dude?
Yeah, it is.
You want to see a 4-year-old do a backflip?
Here you go.
Not really.
Although that is when they're supposed to be like the most
agile,
resilient and agile. So
yeah.
I don't know. What? I'm not a scientist.
You ever throw? I mean, it's like throwing a kid into the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Real resilient. Just bounces right off. Oh, you'll be fine. You bounce like a basketball.
Yeah. Or like martial arts, like you can enroll your kids at like 5
That's
and
nuts.
teach them to kick somebody in the face.
I see. That's the thing. I never got martial arts growing up.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like my version of learning to fight was just like my brothers and me would
Picking on you.
Well, yeah, that and like we got boxing gloves for Christmas and we just sit in the dining room and just
Hit each other.
Yeah, and that was the game. It was a game. It was like who can hit the hardest. You
Yeah.
know? And like of course we would give ourselves like boxer names. You know, so my brothers would be like, I'm Fernando Vargas because he's like a Mexican heavyweight, and they'd be like, "One, you're Sugar Shane Mosley," and I'm like, "I don't like Sugar Shane Mosley," because I was a Fernando Vargas fan.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, well, you are," and so I just get hit, punched, knocked around.
All right.
I did get a few good hits in.
Yeah, that's good.
That was in the early years.
I was gonna say, especially with how much bigger your brothers were at that time than you.
Yeah, no joke.
Like
They're like twice the size of me.
They're like, yeah, they're no joke.
I mean, like I will say, growing up, it was interesting learning to kind of fight that way because it really was just like balls to the wall.
Yeah, no holds barred. However you can win, you win.
You give a couple of kids some boxing gloves, and it is just like it's game time. Bro.
Yeah,
it's a bloodbath in there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the interesting thing. Maybe I don't remember because I was like concussed or something, but I never got a nosebleed that I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Concussion, sure. That's nothing. But nosebleed, I avoided that shit. That's an accomplishment.
Like the plague. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that analogy real quick?
Well, like you don't catch the plague.
Okay. All right.
Isn't that what the analogy means?
I've never heard that euphemism before.
You've never heard like the plague?
No.
Avoiding it like the plague?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It goes back to like the early days. Well, yeah, the early days. It goes back to like when the plague was a thing.
Okay, I just didn't see how it was how it was done in reference to your story.
Oh well,
whatever.
Like
it's
avoiding a concussion like the plague.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like
I probably had way too many concussions with everything that I did because I did the martial arts, I did football.
Before we go on, I want to know why that became like were people back then just like picking up rats and like licking them or something? like the newspapers had to come out and be like,
that guy's weird. I'm avoiding him like the plague.
Yeah, exactly. No, like in plague times, like they had to put out like newspapers, and they were like, you got to avoid the plague like the plague.
Like the plague.
It's like, guys, it's a plague. Yeah, well, he's coughing and there's blood all over him. But
I mean,
man, he's got some voluptuous lips.
Yeah, but I mean, he has the best living room, so I still want to hang out with him.
He's got more than one cot in his room. I don't know. They lived horribly back then.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
we
kind of touched on that with like just how hard it was like on a boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Or the cobbler. I remember that too.
The first episode that we did. Yeah. No, see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, hell, we'll go back to this. Why not? I'm just saying, it seems like it was a hard time to be alive.
Oh yeah,
because we're out here like, no, my phone's dead. It's hot.
My AC unit isn't working to optimal.
They were back there like, the king wants my wife.
Here you go.
Yeah, and then he's gonna kill me because he wants my wife and he doesn't want me to seek revenge.
Which, like, a lot of stories back then surrounded revenge.
It's a vengeful time.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Everyone was really angry. They were working like 30-hour shifts. That was a shift. It was just 30 hours. Oh, time to clock in.
Turn around. Oh, time to clock back in again.
Time to clock in the old steel mill. Hey, did you hear Henry died? Oh, tell me about it.
No.
What? It just seems like such a, like, I mean, I don't know. Could you imagine you're working and then you look over and there's a 6-year-old doing the same job as you?
That would be weird.
That's what I'm saying.
I was going to go on just like working in the middle of a shift and all of a sudden somebody's like dead on a pile of the coals. Damn it, Tim. Why did you have to die there? Now we have to move your body.
Yeah.
You couldn't have died over there?
See, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's why people died so much back then, because there wasn't regulations.
Uh-huh.
Like you would go to a baker and the baker would be like, I haven't washed my hands in 6 days. It makes the bread taste better.
Right.
And everyone went to him because the bread did taste better.
Yeah.
But he's got some dirty ass hands.
The soot and mud must have made a difference.
That's why bread is the color that it is. Because all the dirt and mud in it
Yep.
made it look brown.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
It has nothing to do with the baking process. Bread's actually supposed to be snowflake white until he got his hands on it. The baker who changed everything. See, that's what I'm saying. You could get famous for anything back in those days.
Well, famous was always like relative to, like, you could be famous within a town, but
yeah, but you know,
maybe even in a couple of townships.
Yeah, and you still got, you know, you were like grade A.
Yeah.
You know, everyone flocked to you.
Yeah, free mead.
Yeah.
Know.
Oh, dude, that's the guy who like shovels dirt real good.
He shovels dirt better than all the rest.
That's the guy who knows how to ride a horse. You know?
Yeah. That's the dude who owns a horse.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
Everyone just comes to see him owning a horse. He doesn't even ride it. He just owns it.
He just stands by it.
Yeah, this is mine. Picked her up a couple weeks ago.
Can you ride it? Do a trick?
Yeah, I don't really feel like it.
Buttercup's very sensitive, so we really have to go based off of her rhythmic beating.
Meanwhile, Buttercup's been dead for 3 years.
But they haven't seen a horse, so they don't know.
Yeah, he found a taxidermed horse. The only horses they know are the ones that like trot on them when the nobles are driving by.
Yeah.
Driving. No, so you know the nobles,
I guess you could consider it driving.
There you go. You're chilling out front and just some royal guy just comes by and just steps on your foot with your horse and you're just supposed to be like, oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Off with his head.
I don't like the aggression. I feel like fame for things like, could you imagine being like a person who played a guitar in like the 50s or like before the 50s, like in the 40s, you know, especially with white people? Because like, dude, you went to the South and they were playing like the blues and they were like hitting some crazy notes and like, you know, going nuts. And then like in India, they were like playing crazy mandolins and these sweet, you know, giant sitars or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you come to the U.S. in the 40s and it's like some guy being like, I play a trumpet real good. Right? And he plays it and it's a white dude and it's just like,
oh, that's
like,
magic.
Oh.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but like, yeah, you know, like there was Beethoven and Bach and stuff and like classical artists. But like, dude, in the 30s and the 20s, I feel like music, especially like music that branched out of like rich people homes.
Oh yeah, like doo-wop and
yeah, it's like some dude
Jersey
playing the
Boys
same, like the 10th rendition of the same piano piece for like the 100th time, and everyone in the room.
But he
like,
does it like very well.
Oh,
so. Yeah.
He's like, dude, I don't play anything else. I try to play something else, and they get angry, so I just play this.
Yeah.
All of the people, I just don't like change. Fame is something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, man, like, I don't know. You go back to like the early 2000s. I wish I could make music like Blink-182
Yeah.
and just get away with it.
Get away with it.
Yeah, that's not fair. Travis Barker's a really good drummer. But like, you know, the fact that there's a guy out there who made millions off of going, where are you? It's like, life's just unfair, man. Here I am, breaking my back, talking into a microphone.
Living life.
That's it. I watched Insidious, the first one.
Okay.
So we did
it's
like
been a while since I've watched the first. Well, that's the only one I watched, actually.
Well, we did like a double feature kind of thing. Like on Saturday, we watched the first one, and then on Sunday, we watched
Part 2.
Oof. There is such a gap in quality between those two movies, man. The first movie, it's not, I mean, like, I'm not going to say it's incredible, but man, it's a good movie. Yeah. And then you get to the second one, and it's just like,
what the hell happened?
Did he take drugs? Like,
Probably.
Yeah, he was halfway through making. It literally feels like that. It feels like he's halfway through making the movie, and then he
just goes on a huge cocaine binge, and
it goes insane.
Yeah, I can't attest. I didn't watch the second one.
Oh, you haven't seen the second one?
No.
Spoiler.
Well, I kind of. You can go on, but I kind of predicted the plot of the second one at the end of the first one, so I kind of just.
Well, actually, hold on, because before I give the spoilers, what do you think happened in the second one?
Because the first one ended with the lady like standing behind the dad, like insinuating that
And she
he's-
snaps the picture.
Yeah, and insinuating that he is now
Yeah.
the target,
Yeah.
if you will.
And then she's like, so she snaps the picture, and then he's like, "Why did you do that?
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it when they do that." And then he comes up and like chokes her.
Yeah.
He kills her. And then the lady comes in and she's like, she sees the lady dead on the chair, and she reacts like you would expect someone to react, finding someone dead on the chair. She's like, "Oh, husband, husband!" She's like running around the house trying to find the dude. And then he walks in and he's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Look," points at the corpse on the chair. And then he's like, it's the worst ending ever, because he goes, "Oh, wow. Oh no." And then that's it. Like, that's the end.
Yeah.
And
So-
it just ends.
Like, it just didn't seem.
It's horrible. It's really like one of the worst endings to a movie. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, it kind of sets up a cool sequel, because the sequel happens and it's like, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, you said it was like super crazy.
Yeah, we got to figure something out. And then we figure something out, and guess what? He's the target, like you guessed. And then in the second movie, it starts off very similar. It's like, oh, it's a horror movie, and like you feel creepy, and everything's kind of like that. And then like out of nowhere, everyone like starts fighting. Like it turns into an action movie just like halfway through.
Huh.
And it's just like, what? And it goes, like, when I say off the rails, I mean off the rails. Like, it starts off with this idea of like, oh, he's a bad person, or like, you know, he's after the family, he's after the wife, he's after the kids, but he doesn't, I don't know, man, it's hard to explain. He doesn't want to like, he doesn't want to hurt them, because it's just like she's being possessed by like this serial killer or something. And like, they go to this house and they find the serial killer's old home. And like the mom made the dude dress up like a girl, which like messed the dude's brain up. And that's why he turned into a serial killer. And then like there's dead people everywhere. And then like, they're like, oh, we got to go into the dream state to find the husband. And the kid who was like in a coma in the first movie is like, I can go. And they're like, I don't want you to go.
And then
He goes.
okay, right, as
the mom's
you would.
the mom's just like, well, we got to figure something out, because they're like being chased down by the dad at that point, you know.
Okay.
And he's like pulling teeth out and shit.
Oh,
showing that
okay.
he's like,
I do
dying.
remember people talking about that. Yeah.
and then like it just, I don't know. He goes in there and they like find the dad, and the dad's like, he finds other people. It's stupid. It's a dumb movie. I hate it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't know.
hot take on Insidious too.
Yeah.
I
movie
kind of
that's
feel you
10
though.
years old.
Yeah. I do feel like one that happened with, I feel, was the Conjuring series.
Oh yeah, that.
It was just it got way too fucking like, so part 1, very, very good. Very good. Part 2, pretty good. You know, not quite up to snuff with the first one, but I do like how they kind of go into the dynamic of the family, because it's like in the first one, it's this really nice family that has no trauma. It's they just happen to move into a place with an evil spirit. In the second one, it's more like they have a weird, like, fucked up family dynamic. The dad's gone, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, and it's like, so there's pain for that to feed on. So that was you know, interesting.
Yeah.
But then there's the one with the nun, that was weird, and then Annabelle,
That's
like
just
that whole series, it just kind of it progressed into insanity, as it usually does when you make sequel after sequel after sequel of the same horror movie.
Well, it's because they have an IP that knows it's going to make money, and so they're just like, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's personally, if I like a movie and they try to make sequels and the sequels aren't up to snuff, I usually just kind of pretend like
they don't happen.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to do that.
Yeah, at least like let's take Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Right. Their original goal, I think, was to make 13
Movies,
movies in that franchise.
which is a hell of a.
Yeah,
undertaking.
they didn't accomplish it. I think they only got to, if you count Freddy versus Jason, they only got to 11.
Yeah.
But at least then the insanity is enjoyable. It's
Well, because it's just a goofy movie.
yeah, like it takes itself seriously at the beginning, and then it kind of just evolves into
Yeah.
oh, well, check out this, and like it's good in a bad way,
Like in
or
the,
bad in a good way.
I think it's like the 5th or 6th one is when they're at the cabin, I think, something along the lines of that.
Which are we talking? Friday the 13th?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like in the 5th one or something. It's the one that has the dude from The Outsiders, the kid actor that is like
Frog.
nuts now. No, is it Frog?
Well, like I think he. Oh no, that's his character in Lost Boys. What's his name?
Hold on, let's find out.
We have technology.
Yeah, because he's one of the guys who came out during like the Me Too movement.
Oh yeah, Corey. He's one of the Coreys.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah,
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 it's the one that has Corey Feldman as a kid in it.
yeah.
That movie-
pretty spacey. It's been a while since I watched it, but
That movie's ridiculous, but like the
In a
best
way.
type of ridiculous.
right.
You know, and that's what I look for in those types of movies. Like,
Yeah. Well, because then there's that one where Jason gets revised. Well, okay. There's.
that's the next one.
Well, hold on. Like he gets. What's the one where he possesses people?
Oh, I don't
Like
even-
you see Jason for like 2 minutes, and then his spirit keeps possessing people.
Is that Jason in Hell?
Maybe.
I don't.
Jason Goes to Hell. Maybe.
I'm gonna be honest. After a while, they all
Just blend
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
I think after the one with Corey Feldman, it just goes like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the one with Corey Feldman is such it's a shit show, man.
Yeah.
But like in the best way. And I like movies like that. I like especially slasher flicks. I feel like if you're doing a slasher flick, you should make a movie that is just dumb.
Yeah.
I don't need substance. Show me people dying
Yeah.
in ridiculous ways, and then give me Jason being beaten at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fine with that because I like to turn my brain off sometimes. And that's
Right.
what I can do with those.
I kind of understand that.
It's the difference between going to someone's house and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna watch that Trick or Treat movie," and then we're gonna either watch that or watch Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's like, dude, I don't want to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh, I love Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Not only psychological thriller, but this therapist wet dream of a movie.
I enjoyed it. I thought, and I get where a lot of people are coming from with that one because the whole thing with Michael Myers at the beginning of Halloween, like when at its first surgence, was it doesn't make sense why he just flipped.
Yeah.
And they never go into it. He's just like, he is a man who has taken on this role of the shadow.
Exactly. And it's just kind of upsetting. It's just kind of like, oh.
I like that. And then Rob Zombie kind of like goes into, well, this is kind of what happens. And it's basically like, what do you call it? A personal...
Vendetta?
No, it's like to preserve yourself, like self-preservation, like your mind flipping to preserve...
Right. Your sanity or whatever.
Like, and then it just goes to complete lack thereof.
Yeah. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think like...
But I also
overall-
understand wanting to just turn your brain off and watch a bad horror movie every once in a while.
Yeah, I feel like if you go to a Halloween party, that's what you should do. Like, you don't want your host to be like,
let's psychoanalyze this serial killer.
you guys want to watch Silence of the Lambs? It's like, not really. No.
Yeah, as good as of a movie as it is.
It's not really like a party movie.
Yeah, I get that. Whereas like something maybe like All Hallows Eve
Yeah.
or something like that kind of fits the mold a little bit more.
That seems like the worst type of party to attend to.
Yeah.
Imagine you go over to someone's house and they're like, all right, guys, we're going to watch a couple movies tonight. Start the night with Forrest Gump. What? You know?
Okay.
And then afterwards, we're going to watch, after Forrest Gump, we're going to watch Apocalypse Now.
Okay. You're kind of losing me here.
And then we're just going to sit around and talk about our problems afterwards. Not just problems, not like work problems. Let's get deep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about each
Deep
other's
psychological
issues.
problems.
That seems like I used to tell people, one of the threats I used to give people, it's not really a threat. Well, it's a threat. I would say my birthday party is going to essentially be you guys sitting around and watching me complete the Champions League season. On FIFA.
Yeah.
And if anyone moves,
Or speaks once, you're out.
everyone gets one beer. Make it last.
Yep.
It's a 5-hour season. And we're going to go through the group stages and everything.
Yeah. And you're gonna have to listen to my like point by point of why I put this character here, or
Yeah.
not character, this player here. Why
my
I bought
coaching
this
decisions.
one. Yeah.
Even if it's the same coaching decision as the last game, I'm still
It's-
going to explain the tactics to you.
Yeah. Now see, because if we approach it from the left flank, all right, this is how it's gonna funnel the ball right into the goal.
Now, you'll
all right?
notice as my right back moves up, I'm on the instant replay thing, and I've been there for 20 minutes, and I'm explaining to them the need for a right back to go into the right winger position to kick it into the center of the goal.
Yeah, I get it, Juan. Like you said that 2 plays ago. Like I don't.
Can you explain it back to me? No? Okay, let me go over it again.
Obviously, you weren't paying attention.
I don't know. Have you ever been to a party that's like that? I've been to a party where like someone takes control of like the YouTube and it like instead of playing music. Because like, look, a get together of like 5 people and you're like, let me toss some YouTube on.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're cool with
like
that.
Like you have a music video going or whatever.
Bro. Anything after that, we gotta calm down.
Yeah.
You got 20 people and they're all there to listen to music and kind of chat with each other.
Yeah, and like have a good time.
And you're like, let me show you this SNL skit.
Oh, you are the worst type of person if you do that. You are the worst type of person.
Do not do that, please. For the love of that party.
Right. Now that's bad. That's just a whole that should be obvious. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's those people that like randomly get past the ability to pick the song.
Oh.
Usually because when you walk into a party, you kind of understand, okay, that's the main person picking the music. Every once in a while, he'll take their recommendation, maybe their recommendation, but it's usually like a top 5 type of people scenario.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's that 6th person that gets the opportunity and fucking plays Alanis Morissette or who's the bald Irish chick? What's her name?
Cranberries?
No. Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, jeez.
Or they play, they play something like super fucking deep for no reason. They play Coulter Wall out of nowhere. Like we just were listening to The Weeknd and now you play Coulter Wall. That type of person.
They say something like, I like music that has meaning.
Yep, exactly.
It's like, dude, just because you like music that has meaning doesn't mean you have to
we're
depress
at
the
a party,
room.
dude. Like,
do you not listen to anything fun?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's like when you walk in and you already hear Tennessee whiskey playing. You're like, okay, we're at this part of the night. I just got here.
I don't want to be here.
I just got here.
It's 5:30.
Yeah, they're already playing Tennessee whiskey.
The pizza hasn't even shown up yet.
And coming up next, Freebird.
Oh, what?
What is
We're going to listen to the solo 3 times over. No.
Have you ever heard of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon?
Regards to that story that you just told, I once went to a party where things were getting down and everyone was having a great time. Everyone was like partying hard and doing their stuff. Music's rocking. They're playing like Posty. They're playing like Weeknd. They're playing, just 90s hip hop. Like it's a cool party. Yeah. It's a good vibe. Everyone's having a good time. The old heads are like, I can't even call them old head anymore. But at the time, the old heads were like jumping in. They're all enjoying it and having a great time. And then somebody gets a hold of the music, the speaker. And when I tell you I heard the intro to How to Save a Life by Fray,
my God.
And I went,
what are you doing?
No, and like it's happening while there's like a beer pong game happening. Yeah. Like there's people like playing beer pong and like someone's like, yo, I gotta try. And he like grabs it and like you knew something was gonna happen because like the dude had been like sat the entire night.
Yeah.
And I was expecting at least maybe like a like one of those sad party songs, like you throw on Juice WRLD or something and everyone's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, we'll let it slide.
No, dude, this dude is like
Kendrick Lamar drank or something.
You need to talk. I was like,
oh God.
What? And then he doesn't let go. Like the next person, he's like, no, I got one more track, and everyone's like, no, dude,
we just suffered through this one.
Please don't do that. And he pulls out. He goes, no, I got one more, dude, and then he follows that up with Not Afraid by Eminem, and I was like, oh my God, what kind of vibe are you trying to like?
You are all over the place, my guy.
Like, don't get me wrong. In 2009, you played that party? Sure, dude, we're all down.
Yeah, maybe. Well, even then.
It is 2017.
Okay, yeah.
At the time. Fair. It was 2017.
Yeah.
It's not the time to be like, I'm going to pull out the
recovery album
real quick.
Yeah.
Let's, we're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, so I was told a story over the week that was in a car with a couple of friends driving back. It's a couple of years ago from one of the mountain towns that we live by.
Okay.
And he was with some buddies, and I guess there was these two guys that he was hanging out with who just weren't getting along with each other the whole time.
One of those friends of a friend, and
and they just weren't vibing.
mm-hmm.
And Jeffrey's friends, especially at the time, not the most casual people.
Okay.
Anyways, this dude's talking trash to the guy in the front seat, and while he's driving, they're going like 75 miles an hour, speed limit, and he turns around while he's driving and starts hitting this dude in the back seat.
God, sounds like my parents. Doesn't matter where they are, they like have eyes, and they just automatically hit you like dead center.
See, but that's the thing. At least they're looking at the road.
Oh yeah, he was not. He was just full on.
He jumped, like turned around and jumped on this dude and was like wailing on him.
It's all right. It's on cruise control.
They're going 75 down this road. And this guy's like, oh, hey. And the guy in the passenger seat's like, hey, no, what are you doing?
He's trying to hold the wheel. Yeah, that's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah. It's a wild thing to just be like, we all die. I'm
Just
angry, so we all die.
Yeah, just so I can hit you a couple of times.
That's got to be real hate.
Yeah.
You got to hate someone to do something like that, to put your life at risk to essentially teach them a lesson. Like that's like super, that guy's like a superhero. You know what I mean? Like he's like Superman, Because think about it, no, like hear me out. It's like Lex Luthor has this thing, right? It's kryptonium, kryptonite, whatever. Yeah. He has kryptonite, and Superman dislikes this guy so much that even though he knows this guy has something that will kill him, he's like, I'm still going to beat the shit out of you.
Well, he also threatens the world, too, so...
Well, this guy was threatening his world.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? It's hard to argue with that logic.
The man showed up in his world and threatened him, and he was like, that's not going to happen.
So we all die.
Every one of the cars gone. Sorry. I'm upset. That's a move.
Yeah, that is a clear power move right there.
To be that angry and risk everyone else's life out of the sheer fact that you're just like, I'm upset.
I don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, passengers.
It's kind of like, okay, imagine if the president of the United States was that petty. Okay, but like, yeah, I don't really like this person, so nuclear war.
Yeah, it's wild that's where that's how easy it is.
Yeah, it's like a clear possibility.
There's just a guy who has like the power of the world in his hands, and he's just like, yeah, I didn't like the way you looked at me.
Yeah, he called me fat, so we all die.
I'm really I am glad that I don't know if I wonder if the button still exists, the briefcase.
The football?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm positive it does.
Do you think the president holds it, or do you think they give him like a fake button just in case?
Well, I know the real answer, but your scenario is much more funny.
Like it's super intense.
Yeah,
like the music's like intensifying. He's like pissed, and he grabs the football, and he sets it down, and he goes to hit it, and he hits it, and it just goes, that was easy. Like,
he keeps pressing it.
Why isn't it working? That was easy.
Mr. President, that's not the real football.
What do you mean it's not the real football?
We knew you were going to do this because Wendy's ran out of chicken nuggets. So that's why you don't have a real football.
They deserve death. What's terrifying is that there's a politician out there who probably thinks exactly like that.
Oh, yeah. There has to be.
Politicians are crazy.
Yeah.
Like that, you got to be real messed up to get into work like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, anything you do is going to be seen through a microscope.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
one of my coworkers tried to go into a political, I don't know what specific field, but it was political something.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up quitting, and now he's dishwashing because he's like, I could not do that.
Because it's insane.
Yeah.
You have to be a literal crazy person to get into politics.
Yeah.
What politician have you ever seen that's normal? I don't think I've ever
Not a
seen
one.
a normal person be a politician.
Yeah, because you just see it in their eyes. You're like, I don't trust
You
you.
get that fire behind their pupils.
Yep.
Hi, nice to meet you. Why are your eyes red? I'm a politician.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Well, you got my vote.
Like your eyes.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that that's how politicians used to get elected.
Oh, they would. Yeah, be someone you want to have a beer with.
He could be a total psychopath.
But he seems like he'd be a good conversation
He
piece.
seems like he'd be a fun time to have a Miller with.
Yeah.
And he's just a crazy psychopath.
Yeah. Well, think about when was Teddy Roosevelt president? It was like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
I think so, yeah.
And this was
Once
a dude.
again, high school.
Oh, yeah, just totally failed us. But anyway, like it's this like dude who like, oh, this dude's been on safaris and he's killed people, and that's who I want as my president.
I will say I'd rather take that president as like, this guy says crazy shit on TV.
Yeah, that's true.
I want him as president.
Well, then there was that who was it?
Like Teddy Roosevelt. Oh,
who like
jeez.
shot somebody on a hunting trip and
Yeah.
didn't get in trouble at all.
Well, no, he made. He shot the dude, and then he made the dude apologize to him
Yeah.
for getting in the way.
That's how crazy politicians are. I was pointing at a deer.
Look, man, the least you could do is apologize to the
Like,
dude.
God, you
not
messed
doing
up my shot. I lost that 10-point buck now.
Wasn't even a 10-point. It was just like it was like a
It was a doe.
standard, yeah, doe. It didn't even have horns, yeah, or
Antlers.
horns. Once again, high school just failing us constantly. Where'd you go to school? Lowest rank, one of the lowest ranked states
In the
the
nation.
country. Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
I can hold the conversation. People listen to me.
I know some big words.
Some.
Onomatopoeia. How about that?
See, but that's what I'm saying. Like, at least Teddy Roosevelt could back his shit. You know? Like, that dude, he probably got in some bar fights.
Easy.
He saw some dudes, like, die at bar fights. And people were like, that should be our president. Everyone went, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know? And then, but now presidents are like the guy we have in now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 90% sure he wears a diaper.
Oh, he definitely does. Doesn't know what the hell he's talking about half the time.
And that's what we traded Teddy Roosevelt for.
Yeah.
We traded these, like, presidents back in the day used to be like, he's a striking figure of freedom and democracy.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, this guy can't ride a bike.
This guy doesn't really know how to work stairs, but
Oh, and don't get too excited, listeners, because the other guy, he had an audience clap for him because he drank a water bottle.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah,
that's awesome. I drink water.
he lifted the water bottle by himself. You know, like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? I don't know.
It was a long, difficult process.
I mean, it's been like that since the 90s.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but I like to believe it's true that Bill Clinton was essentially elected president because he went on Arsenio Hall and, like, just saxed it up.
Oh yeah. I'm like 90% positive that's the only reason he
That's
was
crazy.
president.
That's the guy who holds the nuclear button.
Yeah.
People are like, I like him.
Yeah, but he can play jazz.
Smooth jazz. Psychopath playing smooth jazz. Please don't come after us. We're measly podcasters.
We don't even know who was president or when Teddy Roosevelt was president.
We hardly exist. We're like the tree that falls in the forest and
But we do make sound.
makes a shit joke when it falls.
Has to make fun of another country before it falls.
Britain.
Yep.
They're just
Every
so
time.
easy. They're
Every
just so
time.
easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love British people. It's such a cool country. It's just like
I've never been, so I cannot attest.
me either. I've never been to Britain, but I'd love to.
I would go.
I don't know if
I
they would.
don't think we're allowed there, but I would go.
We're gonna show up and the royal guards are gonna be waiting for us at the airport. We heard you said you don't like beans on toast, mate. That's what pissed you off? We take our beans and toast pretty seriously here, mate. It's like Australian. In my age, I'm losing accents.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more gray hair I grow, the
The less accents.
Yeah.
Well, at least you had your time in the sun. I am terrible at all accents.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
actually,
terrible.
hold on. Here's a fun little game. Do an accent.
I can do Southern.
No, I
That's
don't want
pretty much
Southern.
it.
That's too easy for you. Do a Russian accent.
Oh no.
Come on. For the
I
audience.
can do
dude.
vodka. That's probably the closest Russian Stolichnaya.
Okay, tell me like just a sentence. Something about it, like a comrade or something.
Fuck you. Why you put me on the spot?
Content.
Wait, comrade, pass the vodka. Yeah, see? That's why I don't do them, Juan. That's why I don't do them.
See, when you do Russian accent, still got it.
Good. Oh, you didn't finish the sentence, though.
When you do Russian accent, you make it sound like you have vodka in your mouth already. See, that one's all right.
That was pretty
Not
good.
bad.
That was pretty good.
With the podcast, what was the podcast about today, honey? We did accents. What?
Terrible accents.
We tried. See, I will say that there's a fine line to accents, especially, like now.
Mm-hmm.
Like not that I can't do a Jamaican accent,
but
it's just not
we would be canceled on
in the
spot.
wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be canceled.
You think that's bad, But it is wild that, like, as long as the skin is white, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, fucking make fun of Irish people all you want.
Oh, yeah. Nobody gives a shit.
Italians, get in there.
Yeah.
You're pushing it, but get in there.
Yeah.
Second you go,
anywhere south of the equator, you're done for.
yeah, it gets scary. Well, I am allowed to do a Mexican accent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic.
It's more accurate than any other one.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to say that. That's fine. Call me out.
Well,
It's
you
more
grew
accurate.
up around
No, it's fine, dude.
You grew up
I'm
around
shitty at accents, bro. It's fine. Just get in it. On the topic of like accents in the olden days, it's wild what used to be shown to people in movie theaters.
Yeah.
Me and Steph sat down to watch Breakfast at Tiffany's,
Oh, I like that
and
movie.
Mickey Rooney shows up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a dark time in cinema history.
I just want to know what that.
It was the early 1900s.
I just want to know what the
didn't
audience
know.
reacted. Like I
Well,
wish
they
I
saw
could.
Mickey Rooney and were all about it. They remembered Boys Town, and that's it.
I just like to imagine he comes out on stage and everyone's just like, they're watching Mickey Rooney come out. And they're like, oh, it's
him.
Mickey Rooney. And then they see.
Because that's when back in the days when all of the credits were before the movie.
Yeah.
So they just saw his name. They didn't know what character he was playing.
Right. And so they see the character come out on stage and it's not even funny, which is like the word. It's literally just him doing that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to imagine the audience was just like,
Yeah.
just
All about it.
Yeah. Like people were like jumping out of their seats, tearing at their clothes, asking the usher to buy another ticket because of how funny that was to them.
I just want to give him more money. No, I don't even want to go to the next showing. I just want to give him more money.
It is funny to think like that was just acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, some director went, "This is magic."
This is going to be great.
More of that, Mickey. Yeah, I was about to do the accent and I stopped myself.
Good job. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Richard just made me cut it out, but he just did a really good Mickey Rooney doing that accent impression. He said, "Cut it out," but I don't want people to hear how good it was.
Yeah, check out on the bonus episode.
Richard just did it again. Wow. He keeps making me cut. Like, it's really impressive. I don't know why he's making me do it. Earlier you were doing that really funny Eddie Murphy impression.
Oh, was I?
That one was funny. I really liked that one.
I bet.
Then
It's
the
one of my most popular.
You did the Jamaican accent afterwards.
Right.
I was really blown away by those personally.
Well, yeah. Okay. Kind of off topic.
Please change the topic.
Well, no. On Futurama, because didn't a white guy play Hermes?
No, he was played by Phil Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Phil Lamar. I like to imagine he goes backstage and then the scene where like the clown is like wiping off the makeup.
Yeah.
It's a white dude underneath.
Yeah. Well, it's like that whole Tropic Thunder thing. Like, you could not make that movie nowadays.
I hear that all the time though. I feel like that's such a commonly used thing. Oh, that would never get made.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'd get made.
Okay.
It would just be on like Fox Country or something.
Yeah. Beyond, what's that one? What's that one that all CMT.
Country Music Television.
Yeah.
I love how I might just be talking out of my ass here, but I like the idea that they introduced BET and white people were just like, this is unacceptable. And so they chose the shittiest brand of music they could find and went Country Music Television.
Yeah.
And it's going to show is Reba.
I did like that show.
A single mom who works 2 jobs. Yeah, I can't sing anymore or else we'll get... I'm too good of a singer to...
We're going to get copyright striked right away.
Speaking of country, so you know the song The Highwaymen?
Yes.
By The Highwaymen?
Yes.
I was talking to a coworker earlier today and I was like, what if they modernized that?
Mm.
You know? Because like, you know, in like The Highwaymen, it's like, I was a steel worker.
Yeah. Dam builder.
On the dam I would work. And then like, I fucking died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the song. It's like...
Well, one was a robber.
Yeah.
One was... Hold on. One was on a ship.
Yeah.
One worked on a dam and one flew planes.
Right. But in the modern version, it would be like, I was an OnlyFans artist. You know?
Yeah.
That's the modernized version.
Yeah.
I was a Walmart worker.
One came from the top shelf.
Crushed by a box of Pampers. I'm still
what a way
alive.
to go. What a way to go.
I see that's what we're losing in the American dream. That's why America's not seen as like what it was. Because you know, like back in the 50s, people probably looked at America and they're like, dude, they're building skyscrapers. These tough motherfuckers.
Yeah, steel mill.
Look at these dudes.
People building automobiles.
Yeah.
You know.
Now there's a job where you stand at automated cash registers and go, "Can I see your receipt?"
Yeah.
You're doing that 10 hours a day.
Oh man.
7 breaks. It's still not enough.
Yeah.
Making $22 an hour. I'm sorry. If there's a person listening to this that's a Walmart receipt checker, you're worthless. But I mean, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
At least they have a job.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's more than we can say.
Well, nobody fucking wants to work nowadays. Have you noticed how many help wanted signs are everywhere?
I'm sorry. Did I turn the channel to the Fox News channel? No, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, nobody wants to work nowadays. It's depressing.
Look, man, I know we had Tucker Carlson on a couple episodes ago, but
I want him back.
That'd be a wild guest to have on.
Just anytime he wants to come back, you're welcome.
Well, he's still here.
More than welcome.
He's
just still napping.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten up. Ever since he lost his job, he's just on a diet of goldfish and booze. Not even the crackers. Like he's eating
whole goldfish,
live goldfish.
Yeah, it's becoming a very expensive diet. But you know what is? But you know the carnival's coming into town, so we can at least get him like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next week.
I was a fast food worker, making French fries day by day. I shoved my head in a grease trap. I fucking died. That's how every verse ends in that song. It really does. I mean, what is it with that song? Why does it always end with why did they die?
Because that's I don't know, died an American hero. I don't know.
It's like these are the true American heroes.
Yeah, like they're the robber at the beginning.
Being just true American heroes, real blue collar workers.
Yeah, I think the idea originally was supposed to be like the living like highwaymen, like free, like freedom. But then you're a dam builder and like
this is nothing against like the highwaymen, but the fact
that their most popular song
no, not even that, the fact that it's like a bunch of millionaire well-groomed artists
that just
singing about the real blue American collar worker.
Well, it's like Johnny Cash singing about prison despite the fact that he's never been to prison. Well, okay, he was like thrown in jail for a couple of nights here and there, but
and he came out and he was like, I've seen the other side.
I know what it's like.
I've seen the other side. I love Johnny Cash, dude. I don't want to talk trash.
Yeah, that's true.
I love him. I really
love
do.
Johnny Cash.
But it is kind of ironic that the people who sing for middle America, the blue collar.
Well, that's even happening nowadays.
Yeah.
Like they're riding around in their fucking Lamborghini and talking about, oh yeah, life on a farm.
Flyover states.
Yeah.
Singing about states that,
Nobody gives a shit about.
that they also don't give a shit about. But
Yeah.
damn, dude,
But they wrote a song.
they pay
wrote
top
a
dollar,
song.
bro. Those are the guys who pay top dollar. They come out and they're like, hey, truck.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah.
Beer.
Yeah,
I
my
like
God, I
drink
love beer. Blue jeans.
Yeah, I have
Blue
those.
jeans. Yeah. Like boots. Oh. And that's it. Like,
That's the song. And
We're
automatic $20 million.
I feel horrible belittling an entire genre because there is good country out there.
Oh, definitely.
Especially modern country. There's some good stuff.
There's
Like,
a couple.
Zach Bryan, I think, he's a good country artist.
Mhm.
But then, and you know what? We're totally going to steal Bo Burnham's bit here, but why not? Let's get into it. We're actually from there. So,
Yeah.
no, like, I just find it funny because here, even if you're on the pop station, 90% chance that there's going to be country music on the pop station. And every single time.
Pop music with a twang. I don't know if you could call it country music, but yeah.
It's like they've got like a XXX Tentacion beat, and it's a guy over it going like, horses. They don't even have the twang really anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's dying. The genre seems to be dying, at least on the overall level.
Yeah, the top charts.
We're
kinda
reaching
thing.
the Motley Crue. Sorry. I'm kidding. I'm not going to get into it.
It's weird times.
Like, why would you, as a man who works a 15-hour shift in the oil fields, get off of work and then, you get into your $90,000 Chevy and then you start listening to country music, and you're not even listening to, like, I'm a worker country music. You're listening to, like, she's got a horse and I got a big old pair of boots and we're knocking him back tonight.
Yeah.
The beat's like, and it's like,
This is what I want.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Love good old country.
I can't get enough of country. Yeah, dude, did you hear that new country song? Nah, man, what is it?
Oh, I dig this. This is really
Horses and cows.
cool. Mhm. I relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate.
That's modern country right there. We just pinned it.
Yep.
Listen up, America. We have an opinion.
I could revisit one of our earlier topics of the guy who always has to kill the mood at parties or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, at work, at the end of the night, the person who originally was controlling the music leaves early.
Okay.
So then somebody else takes over. There's one who puts on the same playlist every night, and I want you to take a random guess on who the artist is that is predominantly played on that playlist. And this is closing, so you've just finished a long day. You're trying to get everything clean, get ready to go home finally.
I mean, I'd probably maybe like some 90s rock or something. You know what I mean? Just like
nope.
Semisonic's closing time.
Okay, no,
Maybe some Oasis.
nope. Get a more modern artist.
Okay,
I'll put
modern?
it that way. More lo-fi.
Lo-fi. Joji?
Yes.
Every time?
Every fucking night.
I mean, I love Joji.
I love
but-
Joji too, don't get me wrong, but one, that's not exactly getting me motivated to clean and get out of here. Two,
He wants you to think about the day you just had.
yeah, he wants you to be depressed as hell at the 12-hour shift you just worked.
Contemplate your life
Yeah.
while you're cleaning dishes and doing silverware.
Talking about how LA's no more fun, and I don't want to die in LA, and
Hey, real good move.
and slow dancing in the dark. Yeah, this is wow. This is getting me going.
You know what though? I will say. So I will call you out on something.
Okay.
When we were younger, you went through a phase
Ah.
where you listened to classical a
Oh,
lot,
I did. Yeah, I do remember that.
and like you wouldn't like it was. So you would learn the meaning behind these classical songs, which is insane, by the way, to do that, because like you would come up to me and you'd be like, "Hey, I got a song to show you." And
It's
it'd
a
be like
30-minute piece.
30-minute piece. And then like as you're like, this guy killed his wife and like set his house on fire afterwards, and this is the song he wrote about it. And I was just like, Cool, man. And so one night when you came over, we were hanging out. It was really late, and I fell asleep on the couch. And I have the video on my phone. I woke up, and you didn't notice that I woke up, but I wake up, and you had the LED lights on the TV were set to red, and you were sitting there listening to this song about like the devil or something.
Yeah, Devil's Trill Sonata in G minor.
He remembers it.
I remember.
And I just remember in that moment being like, he's going to fucking kill me. This is it. Because like, dude, you were like bobbing, you're like rocking your head. Like you were listening to like an ACDC song. And I was like, what? What's happening over there? I want to know what was going on in your head because apparently you were having a moment of existential crisis.
Well, I mean, it's a terrific piece for one. And then there is the story behind it where it was like a dream that he had of the devil playing violin in a similar vein to what was that? Devil Went Down to Georgia, right? And he woke up and like tried his best to replicate what he heard in his dream, and that's what came out of it. And he said it didn't even touch what he heard. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's a lot of what was going through my mind. Was like my mind trying to fill in what he heard in his dream. I'm not crazy.
You didn't want to just do that by yourself?
I was already over there and you were asleep and I didn't want to go home.
So I just figured I'd scare the shit out of you.
I didn't think it was going to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You were asleep.
Well, you know, the next time that I catch you asleep, when you wake up, I'll be sitting there brandishing a knife, listening to...
No, you've done that before.
Death Trill No. 7 by Lupe Goodgacho, or I don't know what the fuck. Look, man, I appreciate the sentiment of classical music and trying to understand the instruments. Mm-hmm. But for the love of God, man.
Time and place. I get it. Time and place.
Yeah. Like, you know, like there's times to like shower.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a shower moment, you know? Like you do that in the privacy of a door locked behind and you don't share that with people. But instead you decided
trying to bring some culture into your life.
Brother, you spread it out in my living room. Like, you might as well have just dumped a bag of, hey, I'm insane right now.
It was a rough time, all right? It was a rough time.
Yeah. No, it was. I'll give you that at least. At least. I love classical music. It's just one of those things that I never, like, got into. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a basic bitch when it comes to classical music.
Well, I'm not much better. Like, I know, like, the main ones.
I know one song. It's called Moonlight Sonata.
Mm-hmm.
Beethoven. That's just because I like the... Is that the one that... See, that's not even the name of the song that I'm thinking of. Because the one that I'm thinking of is it's like the piano. It's like ding, ding. This is like trying to explain a TikTok to somebody.
Yeah. Well, because the Moonlight Sonata is the dun 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 dun.
No, that's not that one.
Okay.
What is that? I can't even think of it. Anyways, there goes to show you how basic I am when it comes to my knowledge of these things. And I like to call myself a musician.
Well, you still are a musician.
It's just lacking in the most important.
Well, a lot of that stemmed from I took a music appreciation class in college, and it was all class. It was like between the Bach and the other name, Bach and somebody era.
What was that class like? You guys just all sat around some headphones?
No, it was online.
Learn to appreciate the music.
So like you would listen, and then like you would read a piece on like when, like you would read a article chapter on what time that came out in and like the historical influence that was presented in the song, and then you would like have a discussion. It wasn't even papers. You would like it would be an open discussion where like you post on this idea and then you have to respond to somebody else's.
Huh. Did you learn anything from that?
I learned to like kind of more consider the history, like when it came out and why it was important.
Kind of the God, dude, I'm drawing blanks here on words. It's a perfect thing to happen during a podcast.
Oh yeah.
The influence that it had on the time, I guess.
Well, it goes twofold. The way the time had an influence on the piece, and then how the piece had an effect on the history going forward.
See, because I just imagined the classroom was just, all right, guys, get your headphones on. We're gonna learn to appreciate music.
Here's Blink 182.
Where are you? I get it. I get it.
I
now.
get it.
I understand now. He makes sense. Music's interesting because it seems like it's just it's an array of like everyone you meet is going to have a different taste in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that's why it makes it so special when you meet people who have a similar taste because even if it's a popular track, there's some people who will appreciate a song more than others.
Right.
Like, I feel like I could walk up, like with you, there's friends that I could walk up to and I can be like, oh, hey, this song by All Time Low. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I grew up in a similar situation as you, so therefore I understand this song. Whereas, like, if I show you All Time Low, you're like, what the? But, I mean, it's acceptable to react in a negative way as much as I disagree with your reaction.
I didn't hate All Time. Are we talking about the band or the song by John?
No, the band.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was never a huge fan of All Time Low.
See, but, like, there's people I grew up with who I'm like, I show or like they listen to it with me because they were listening to it.
At
it's
the
like
same
a nostalgia factor.
Yeah, I get that. Or like MCR,
Whereas like your nostalgia factor is apparently that of a peasant in the 1700s.
I'm just a simple cobbler.
Listening to Beethoven. Well, I thanks for listening, guys. That's What an
I think
episode. We appreciate you checking us out. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, we shot from the hip on this episode. And
a ton of
we will
shooting
continue.
from the hip.
Yeah, we will continue shooting from the hip.
So, I've been Juan.
I'm always Richard.
And we're shooting from the hip.